Well, this certainly isn't something you would expect to see in 2022 on the door of a home. But you know, there's been so much sickness going around and problems. As I was lying awake the other night, I was thinking about the first Passover over 1700 years ago in Egypt. You know, the children of Israel were in bondage to the Egyptians, and they were made to serve with rigor, and they were abused and made slaves for 430 years, and they cried out to God. And you know the story probably. God had a showdown with the 10 gods of Egypt, and there was 10 plagues that came that were actually against those gods of Egypt. And the last plague, as Pharaoh continued to harden his heart and wouldn't let the children of Israel go, the last plague that came was the death of the firstborn. Every firstborn throughout the land of Egypt and the land of Goshen even was to die when the destroying angel went through. But God told his people, he said, there's only one thing that's going to spare the firstborn in your home. Not whether you're Jew or Egyptian, not whether you're good or bad, but whether there is blood on the doorpost and lintel. So they were to, on April 10th, they were to take a lamb, a spotless lamb, hold it in their house, and on the 14th, they were to kill it, to roast it and eat it in haste with their sandals on their feet. But they were to take hyssop and put blood on the doorpost and on the lintel of their home, which formed a cross. Well, you know, everyone who was under the blood, whether Egyptian or Jew, because some Egyptians came into the homes, was spared. But wherever the blood was not seen on the doorpost and lintel, there was a death of the firstborn in that household. You know, not only that, but Psalms tells us that they went out with silver and gold, and there was not a feeble one in all their tribes. It's estimated that 2.4 million children of Israel went out of Egypt that April 17th, and that, April 14th, and that not one was feeble, not an old person or young person, no one was sick. And they went out rich. They went out with silver and gold. Now that was the blood of a lamb. How much more the blood of Jesus? So as I was pondering this, you know, I thought I'm going to remind the people in my home and the people at the church and school. I went to every door and I put red paint on the doorposts and lintels. One of the parents took a picture and sent it to me as he had taken the child to be tested for COVID. And of course they had tested negative, thankfully. But he came back and took a picture of it and sent it to me and says, "This reminds me of Israel." I said, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to remind all of us that we're under the blood of Jesus, that we're protected as children of God. And I want them to realize as they see this, to be reminded that we are safe as the children of God under the blood of Jesus.